everybody, this is Amy Thomson Tarot. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. This is a different type of reading that I have never done before. In fact, I've stayed away from doing these types of readings because I didn't want to be somebody who could possibly intervene with somebody's connection or somebody's relationship or anything else. But I've been having these kind of this nudging that I need to do something along these lines. I've been given two different ones that I'm supposed to do. One of them is like, what's going on with this connection? You know, are they thinking about me? Is everything okay with them? That kind of thing. And that I've been told that that's for anybody. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship that is. The other one, which is the one I'm going to be doing, is will you be together again? Now, again, I'm nervous about doing this one, but I'm going to see what the cards have to say and I'm going to do my best to give you the best reading that I possibly can. So in front of me, I have three cards to choose from. They're going to be card piles. So pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So think about somebody, and somebody you may have dated, somebody you may have just been with temporarily, somebody that you've seen but you haven't quite dated yet, somebody you might have been married to, but someone that you've had a really good connection with, okay? Think about that person and tune into the energy, tune into the cards, see which one resonates with you, which pile you're drawn to, and there will be messages in there for you. So you can scroll down to the bottom once you've chosen your pile, like scroll down into the description box, and there would be a link to whichever pile you choose, either 1, 2, or 3, and that will take you directly to your reading. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for a lot of people, so most of it will pertain to your situation. Well, it should, but there are going to be some things possibly that might not. So take what resonates and leave the rest, and let's get into this reading. Okay, so group number 1, pile number 1, I really hope that you're going to be able to see all of the cards when I do this. And I probably shouldn't have picked such an in-depth reading when I've got to go somewhere very shortly. So we'll do our best to go through this, and yes. Okay, so this side's the divine masculine, this side's the divine feminine, and this is the current energy and what's happening, and this is the overall card for your reading, okay? What I'm going to say is that it doesn't matter what gender you are. Energy is masculine and feminine, so when I'm reading this, one person in the relationship, like it could go both ways. It's like as I'm reading it, I'm not going to be, how do I say this? I've never done a reading like this before, so I'm just going to go with what comes to me and just know that pronouns and different genders and things, I don't know what's going to be flowing through me right now, so just bear with me while I go through, and just know that the roles can be switched around as I'm doing this reading, okay? So it just helps me to keep things straight for who's who. All right, so first off, the overall reading, you got frankincense, okay? Frankincense is one of my very favorite, favorite oils. So, anyways, divine masculine. You got happiness is a choice that I make to the right. You have the world upright. You have the 5 of Wands upright. I have a feeling you're not going to be able to see all of these cards when I pull them. You've got the 5 of Cups in reverse. You have White Buffalo Calf Woman, which is reverence, to the left. You have adaptability, or I think it's pronounced Annie, to the left. You also have Saradwin, potential, the sun to the right. So potential to the left, the sun to the right, and hopefully you can see this one as well. I can't tell if you can see them all, but it's Believe in the Impossible, Blue Moon, and that's in inverse, okay? So let's see what you've got for the divine feminine. You have, if I want to feel supported, I must support myself, in reverse. You have the 7 of Pentacles upright. You have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You have Work Through Your Fears in reverse. And you also have Yoster, New Beginnings, and Métis, Wisdom. Yoster is in inverse, and so is Work Through Your Fears. Okay, so all right, let's see how much you can see of this. Yeah, you can almost see it all, so just bear with me again. And then the this is your relationship in the middle here. So I allow people to witness their behavior so I can help them move beyond it. Feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. And I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become my reality. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Divine Feminine, okay, because that came out right away. What I'm getting is that the Divine Feminine in this situation feels that they need more support from this other person. And oh my gosh, I'm getting so many messages already. So it could be that that they feel like the Divine Masculine may have may not be supportive in what they're doing, may not be communicating, may have completely cut them out of their life. Like, this is different for all of these different people that I'm reading for. So take it to whatever is your situation. The Divine Feminine isn't really getting that they need the support from themselves. Okay? They understand it logically. They know that they're actually doing things to be able to support themselves, but they want to feel more of a connection, more of a loving, supportive. They want to know that they matter. They are looking for some kind of reassurance or some kind of acceptance or approval. Okay? And they know that it has to come from themselves, but they don't want it to. Okay? We've got the Seven of Pentacles upright. So the Seven of Pentacles, they're going through a period of contemplation. In fact, they're growing and they're really taking their wealth and their prosperity and their abundance and their personal growth and who they are on the inside and what matters to them and their skills. And they're spending their time actually thinking about how to improve. All right. They're thinking about the situations from previously. It could have been something that happened in this relationship that's like, well, I don't want that to happen again. How can I become a better version of myself, and so that I can move beyond this and not ever have this energy affect me again. Okay, so the reading is all about will you be together again? And they are at a place where they're not even sure if they want to be together with the Divine Masculine again. Like, okay, I'm going to step back because they're fighting with themselves on this. All right, they're fighting with themselves because there's part of them that is like, yeah, you know what, that would be amazing. Like, we really have this connection. It is a deep soul bond, so they think. I haven't read the Divine Masculine thing, but they really do feel that there's a common interest, there's like this common theme in their life. So really, like, they're not focusing as much on the Divine Masculine right now, but it still comes up sometimes. And in the meantime, they're focused on improving themselves because they recognize that it's their life. And they want to be able to be somebody who can completely support themselves and not have to look for reassurance from a partner. All right? So the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, it's keeping them stuck, to be totally honest, because as they go through their life and they're around different people or like different relationships, and it doesn't have to be like romantic relationships, it's like different relationships. There's like a level of trust that they have not allowed themselves to receive these really good relationships. They do have good relationships, but on the bottom of that, they haven't understood the lessons from this relationship. So therefore, they're still continuing to work on themselves and they're trying to make sense of things. They feel like they need to understand it before they can really grow out and have that new beginning. They feel kind of like their growth was stunted a bit. Like they allowed themselves to express themselves. They allowed themselves to be who they were. And then it just, stopped. So there's a lack of faith and a lack of trust that is coming from the Divine Feminine here. Okay. Wisdom upright. Yeah, you know what? They are actually really tuning into who they are. They're getting more connected with who they are, because what they're seeing is that when they were seeing this, the Divine Masculine in this situation, that they were not coming from their innermost core values or who they were, their authentic self. What they're doing is they're taking these lessons that they're learning when they're doing this self-improvement journey, and they're bringing it into the universe, but they're also allowing themselves to be open to all of the downloads and things that they're receiving. And they are looking to the future with bright, curious eyes, as well as loving warmth towards themselves and other people. Then we have new beginnings. So This one's in inverse. Yeah, you know what? It's the same as the Ace of Pentacles. So this is like prosperous new beginnings, and this one is new beginnings, and they're both in inverse. So they are actually really stunted and really held back by this. And they know deep down that it's for the betterment of their personal growth and self-development, but they still do not understand why. They don't understand the communication style between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So I'm getting from this, from the feminine perspective, is that there is something that's really been misrepresented, miscommunicated, or misunderstood. All right, and that it does not make sense in their logical brain or their emotional brain. It's like one of them says one thing, the logical brain says, nope, nope, never. The emotional brain says, you know what? That's not the way it should have gone. That's not the way this is supposed to go. I need this communication. I need this connection. I need this this reassurance that everything is okay. Yeah. And again, you've got work through your fears in inverse. Okay. So this is actually that they are working through their fears. And what's happening with this, though, is that it stings a lot. On this card, it's actually got a scorpion, right? And so while they're working through their fears, they've kind of buried and suppressed some of these fears. And when they look into them and when they dig them up, they find that it stings. It stings every time. And they can tell themselves that it doesn't, but they think that the only way for it to stop stinging is for them to develop themselves to the point where they have a solid understanding. And part of them thinks that communication is needed for that solid understanding, and part of them never wants to talk to this person again. So, yeah, and if this reading is not resonating for you, then this is not the reading for you. I just want to say you can try another pile or choose another video. Again, like I said, this is my very first time reading this type of reading for people. So I'm just channeling what I'm getting. All right, let's go over to the divine masculine. So right away, they are focused on their own happiness in the future. Okay. The problem with this connection was that they didn't believe it was possible. Therefore, they didn't even give it a solid chance. They actually like kind of, okay, again, this is channeled. They stabbed into it in the beginning. It's like they poked holes in it. They didn't actually give it a chance to even to be realized as a thought. You know, they may have had the thoughts, yes, but they didn't allow this relationship to really get grounded. It's like, if you look at this card here, it's the believe in the impossible. And these are trees, right? And if it were upright, they would be shooting up towards the moon, and it would be very focused. But what this is representing right now in this reading with everything else is like the roots never even got down to where the water was. Like it was like they were poking at it, and it was just more like kind of for fun. Okay. But the thing is that long term, what they want, they really are looking towards their own happiness. And they choose to be happy in any moment, which is really, really great. One of the things is that they have had a lot of sadness in their life and a lot of challenges. They've actually overcome a lot of these challenges by self-directing themselves, like getting themselves out of it, or looking up in the darkness and seeing things that are beautiful within it. You know, this person's very, very self-developed, self-aware. They... when it comes to this relationship with the divine feminine, they do see a possibility. They do actually see that everything that they could want could be with the divine feminine. So that's really neat, except for the fact that even though they see it, they don't believe it. Okay. So then there is the Five of Wands. Now, Five of Wands is like being, it's kind of like a conflict, a battle, being scattered, being lost, losing focus. So because this connection still exists in their mind, it causes them to lose focus on things. And so sometimes they end up going into their heads and thinking, you know, well, this could have happened and this could have happened, or this could happen, but no, it would never happen because this, that, or the other. There could be kids, there could be career, there could be distance, there could be like different perceptions, family values. Like there are differences, and this person is looking for, it's so funny. It's like I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this. It's like they look over and it's like they want to be supportive. They want to be supportive of the divine feminine. They really do. They really see what was possible. They know that they didn't give it a chance. They know they like cut it out completely before it even had an opportunity. And they do know what would have been possible. It's quite interesting. Yes, the reverence to the left and potential to the left. And then adaptability to the left. And the sun to the right. Okay, great. So the divine masculine is creating his life, and I say his, but it could be anyone again. So they're creating their life for what they really want. They've got the sun card to the right. They've got happiness is a choice I make to the right. And their whole intention is to live a life of happiness. So they are very, very clear in what they're looking to do. And therefore, when there's something that causes their mind to be scattered and they start to get into the disappointment and things, they recognize that it's like looking into the past. It's like, well, that was what was possible. So even though they know even at this point now anything is possible and they see the possibility of the world with the divine feminine, they won't allow themselves to go in there. And they won't allow themselves to go, like, to look into that because they see in the past there was so much potential and that they could have adapted, and, you know, they were both kind of adapting to each other, but neither one of them were willing to adapt enough. It's like there was a bit of like fear with the divine feminine within this masculine. It was like again, I'm just going to say he just for the sake of this reading, but so the divine masculine could see the potential, was very much in admiration of the woman. So, again, oh my gosh, this is just what's coming. So interesting trying to do this with gender stuff. So I'm just going to go back to the divine feminine. So really saw the potential in the relationship, really saw and admired the skill set and the drive and the like there was a lot of respect and admiration for the divine feminine. There still is. But they're unwilling to really look at it right now. Okay, they have their eyes and their mind focused elsewhere, and they're looking to create a life of happiness, and not wanting to see what would be possible. It's like they think that what they would be working on would fall apart, you know, and they don't want the thoughts of the past to get in the way with what they're creating for the future. So, yeah, and they still see the world. That's the one thing, is they still see it, and they don't want to believe it. Okay, so the overall reading for this is, I allow people to witness their behavior so I can help them move beyond it. Both parties in this are determined to allow themselves and each other to witness each other's behavior. Like they're looking to themselves, they're looking to each other. They're, are they going to connect? Will they be together again? Wow. Okay. They're going to both focus on feeling good, because both of them know that what they ultimately want is this like peace and happiness and joy and all of the abundance and prosperity and the love and connection and fun and ease. Like they want all of it, and they want to be the best versions of themselves that they can. So both of them are very focused on their own personal growth. Okay. They also want the other person to see their own behavior. They want to be able to help each other. And they want to be able to help each other in ways that it's almost like a spiritual growth journey. It's like, even though they're not necessarily in communication, I'm getting the vibe from this that they're not in communication. I'm getting the vibe they're not in communication. So they want to be witnesses to each other and what happens in each other's life, so that they can be there for each other. Sounds kind of weird. But they do want to be able to be there for each other, but they also want each other to witness how they are in their own lives, because they believe that by them living their own better self, they're actually helping each other. Whether they're speaking or not speaking, they really think that they're doing a benefit and a service for each other. And then this card is, I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become a reality. You know what? They really do want the best for each other. And the thing is that they're doing this. So they're not in communication, but they kind of would like to be. But they also know that for their own personal growth and whatnot. They both kind of think it's not best to be in communication because there was like this push-pull, and it didn't seem like it kind of seemed more like a game, I guess. And what's happening though is that neither one of them fully actually trust that their intentions of good faith for each other is really what is needed. You know, both of them still have that little bit of seed of like whether they're meant to be together or not. So when it comes to will you be together again, both the divine masculine and the divine feminine don't know. They don't know. So they're focusing on feeling good and being the best versions of themselves. All right, so I am going to read the frankincense. Okay, and frankincense. Breathe in, clear, crisp focus. Breathe out, heavy, clogged energy. I am frankincense, and I can help you clear out the gunk and heaviness in your life, creating a light, clear area of focus and lightheartedness. This is what they're both out to achieve, focus and lightheartedness. And they have some heavy, clogged stuff from this connection. As you breathe in my essence, think about the areas of your life that you may be stuck or stagnant. Choose to let go of these today. By releasing and letting go, you eliminate the shackles that bind you, allowing you to step forward and continue your journey. So, here's an exercise for you. Write down the areas of your life that you feel heavy and stuck in. This could be in a relationship, a career, the path you're currently on, etc. Once you have a list, look at what you've written. Where can you make changes beginning today? Create actionable steps for the areas that may take a bit longer. Breathe in my essence, feeling the heaviness and stagnancy lifted and sealed into bubbles of light. Knowing today, you are beginning to create a lasting change towards lightness. Breathe out. See these bubbles release into the universe with love. Breathe in, feeling the lightness you've created. You can do this exercise as many times as needed to feel the release. Your affirmation is I release with love and step forward into the journey I'm creating. Yeah, so it's so interesting. It's like both of them have this desire to let it go, and neither one of them fully have. And it's time to release it. So that is all I have for you, number one. If you liked this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If any part of it resonated, please let me know in the comments section. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. This is my very first time doing this for this kind of reading, and I would love to hear, what people got from it. So, yes, we'll see you in another reading. Okay, so if you chose group number 2, this is your reading, okay? And keep in mind that this is like a current energy read, okay? So nothing is written in stone. One of the things that I think that most people think is when they get a reading done that, oh, that's the future. That doesn't necessarily mean it. It's just like I'm reading people's energies, okay? So how I've separated the cards is I've got the Divine Masculine over here, the Divine Feminine over here, and the current energy here, and this is the overall energy of the reading, all right? So one of the things I want you to get is that, as for pronouns and genders and stuff, I am not going to be the greatest with that. This is my very first reading with doing that, and I'm not going to, a lot of people are concerned about offending people with their genders, and I understand because I have a trans child and a gay child, so I completely understand the things that people go through, so I will do my best to never offend anybody, and I really just want you to get that every person has divine masculine and feminine energy within them, okay? So so if you guys know that about me, I hope that when you go through the readings, if I ever say anything that seems offensive, I hope you really get that it's not. I support people. Like, I love people. I think people should just be who they are, always. And so I fully support everybody. All right, let's get into your reading. The question is, will you be together again? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what we've got. We'll start with the Divine Masculine. We have, I do not need to have money to attract money in inverse. We have strength. I'm getting a little distracted for a second because I know I've got to be somewhere shortly, and I just want to make sure that I give you guys a good reading. Sorry if I allowed myself to get distracted for a second. So we have Snake Transformation in inverse, and we have A New Start is Coming in inverse, the new moon. Hope you guys can see these cards. We have It's Time to Take Action in inverse. We have Fiery Climax Approaches in inverse. Look at the bigger picture in inverse. And Luck is on Your Side in inverse. Okay, so we've got a lot of Aries and Sagittarius energy in this. And again, it doesn't mean that the people in this reading have to be Aries or Sagittarius. Okay, I just wanted to point that out just in case it is relevant for someone. The feminine energy has its Take Time to Breathe Out in inverse. We have the Gecko, Sensuality, upright. We have I Will Praise Success Wherever I See It, upright. We have Nothing is More Important Than That I Feel Good. In inverse, we have I'm a vibrational being in a vibrational universe, upright. Whenever I'm feeling good, I'm attracting good. You guys might not be able to see all of these cards, and I'm sorry, but I'll do my best to fit them all in. You also have the Law of Attraction responds to my vibration, and you have Safety in inverse. Okay, so hopefully you can see those. For the overall current energy of the card, you have Black Pepper in inverse. You have the Water Dragon to the right, which is Balance. You have What Do I Want and Why Do I Want It? And you also have Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan in inverse. Okay, so give me a second to tune into the energies of the cards. Okay, so right away, I'm going to start with the Divine Masculine for this one. So the Divine Masculine in this relationship, and again, it could be like either partner. So just as I'm going through this, just know that roles could be reversed. Okay, so I'm just going to say the masculine and the feminine, and it doesn't actually matter what the gender is. All right, so so this person, the Divine Masculine, want to be strong. In fact, they take pride in their strength and who they are. But one of the things that is a downfall for having that pride and strength, almost like a showing off kind of thing, is that they feel that they need to have money. They feel that they need to have money in order to make money or to attract money or to look good to you, to look good to anyone who is interested in them. They feel like without that financial abundance or the ability to like throw it around and use it to their advantage, that you're not going to be impressed. Okay, they feel like for them to be strong and in their masculine energy, that they have to be that person to provide, to like this. In this picture, it's strength, and this person's like slayed a dragon essentially. Okay, and then also it's like in this other picture, it's two people and they're kind of like intertwining, but it's in inverse, and it's like, well, they figure that you need money to make money, and they feel that you know, their wealth or abundance isn't enough to be satisfactory for this relationship. And what's kind of neat is never mind, I just had my own personal thought. I'll tell you the story. Long time ago, when I was a teenager, you know that puppy love when you fall in love with somebody and it's like true love, and you know, and it was great. It was great. I was with this guy for a couple of years, and he was an Aries, and his year of birth was also a snake. And so it was kind of neat because when I saw the snake upside down, and then I saw a couple cards with Aries, automatically I thought of that. Okay. And that may not be relevant to anybody, but regardless, this person is so focused on being their masculine, dominant, needing to look good and take care of everything self, that they have a challenging time taking action. They don't feel like they're very lucky. They have a hard time seeing the bigger picture, or that there even could be a new start. They would love to have some kind of heated, fiery time with you. They would love to have this relationship transform. They think that it would be fantastic. Like, they see the beauty and the joy and the wonder within you, and they really do want to have you in their sights. They do want to have like fun times and new times with you. They want themselves to transform. They don't feel good enough. Okay, this Divine Masculine is not feeling good enough. All right, I'm going to come back to the divine masculine because I'm going to go over to the divine feminine. Okay, so from the divine feminine, what I'm getting is that you have a lot. The divine feminine has a lot of sensuality. They're very attractive. They really can turn it on when they need to. They really enjoy success. They're very beautiful. I'm getting that they attract a lot of people. They attract a lot of, you know, like, they know what wealth and abundance and prestige and all of that looks like. They really have an eye for fine things and detail. The thing is, in this relationship, they didn't feel completely safe. Okay, and this may have to do with the money or strength thing. That might be why this male is focused on, like, being strong. You know, increasing their strength or needing to prove themselves. There's like a big proving themselves feeling over here with the energy. On the left here, it's like, take time to breathe out in inverse. With nothing is more important than I feel good in inverse. Okay, so, wow, I can totally feel that this female feminine energy, sorry, it might not be a female, but the feminine energy really did not make this person over here feel very good, because they're vibrating high. They have a lot of, like, they know what they like, they know what feels good, they're knowing how to use the law of attraction to work with them so that when they're vibing good and they're feeling good, they're attracting really good things. So what was happening was that they were attracting suitors. They were attracting people who were also really attracted to their bubbliness and their, like, getting creativity and their beauty, and, you know, they're just kind of like being themselves. They open themselves up, but what happens is, like, without any challenge at all, they just attract people, they attract circumstances. But the thing is because of this, they are still somewhat attached to this divine masculine, because they, wow. It's like they're trying to distract themselves, but they haven't taken enough time to really, like, to feel into themselves, to get over some things. So when they're here and they're, like, attracting success and attracting praise and attracting all this stuff and these admirers and all this, and, like, they're the life of the party and whatnot, there's this whole big thing that's saying that you were very important. Okay, it's just, you were very important. They're recognizing that nothing is more important than them feeling good, but they actually feel bad about the way that they hurt you and the way that they left. Oh, I'm talking about you. Okay, I shouldn't say it like you. It's challenging. So they're feeling bad about the way that they left the divine feminine or divine masculine feeling. Okay. So they're recognizing that that they need to take some time to really, like, work through this, but they don't want to take the time because it doesn't feel good to them. It doesn't feel good to them to take that time. In fact, it makes them feel like, you know, the universe doesn't have their back because they're actually, like, lowering the vibration when they go there. They wish things were different. They wish things were different. They do wish that you did, or that the divine masculine did have a bit more financial abundance. Not a bit, a lot. They really do like nice things. But they wanted to feel safe, like they could do things. I'm getting, for some people, they wanted to start a family, or they wanted to move in together, or they wanted to have, like, some kind of, like, solid, really committed, connected relationship, but they didn't feel safe in the whole, like, lack of abundance situation. So I'm getting for this is they made each other feel really, really good. Okay, they, like, when they were together, they really had a lot of bliss and connection. But what was happening was that in the private moments within this divine feminine's life, they were looking at it and kind of going, this isn't really what I want. I can't have this because I am vibrating success. I want success. I need success. And this person is fantastic, but they may not have the success that I'm looking for. And they may have it in the future, but they may never have it, right? They don't know how to make the money or keep the money. They don't know how to be as strong and powerful as somebody that I'm looking for. Again, if this is not resonating for you, then choose another pile, okay? If this is resonating with you, you will know and you'll stick with me. Yeah, but they are beautiful people, for sure. And the divine masculine is very, very attracted to them. And it's not like a super... Okay, so here, it's interesting because it's not that they're... Like, the beauty is more than skin deep. Like, this is like a beautiful, captivating kind of person. They know, like I said, they know how to turn it on. They just really know how to turn it on. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm just going to go into the center here and get the overall read of everything. And then I'm going to come back and finish this off, okay? Both parties, both of these people need to get clear on what they want and why they want it. Because this person actually wants this person, but they want this person to have more and be more and do more. It's like, it's not that they thought that they weren't good enough. It's that they want more and they don't want to wait. And this person is recognizing that they also want more and they're doing what is needed to make it happen. But because this relationship wasn't working, there's a lot of self-doubt and self-blame and self-judgment. So it's kind of like they're like writing it off, that this relationship kind of like, you know, it's not as important to them as it is. But in the meantime, they are out to prove to themselves and everybody else that they can be strong and they can make money and they can take care of things and they can be a provider and they can have it all. They can look good, they can feel good, and they, you know, so this here, this divine masculine is coming from like a need to prove themselves. And therefore, because it's coming from an ego-based thing, they're not attracting everything that they could be attracting with ease and with joy. This person, on the other hand, they're focused on their own happiness and their vibration. So because they're focused on the things they want, they're attracting a lot of it. But because they're still thinking about this other part, like this person, they're not feeling good all the time. And there are some things I think they need to clean up with each other. Because I think from reading this, it's like if both of them actually got clear on what they want and why they want it, they could have a conversation and communicate with each other. This one can let go of their ego and just do things from their own love and their own vibration, because I guarantee that this person, the divine masculine, will be able to see success the way that they see success, right? Not everybody sees success the same thing. So what success is to this person's going to start to praise, and they're going to raise their own vibration, and it's going to be for them. It's going to be for them, and because it's for them, it's going to naturally elevate everything in their life. And this person here can give up needing to have everything just right all the time. In fact, that in itself will make them feel better. Having a clear conversation with this other person will make them feel like they finally have an understanding. They can finally have that closure and that peace. At some point, they may meet each other in the future. From this, it's what I'm getting is that they did not get on the same page with each other. So because there was lack of communication and lack of a clear plan, it didn't work. Okay, so they both had dreams for it, and one was kind of running faster than the other, and they didn't have a practical plan. But it could have totally worked. So the water dragon is pointing to balance, and it's right. Both of them are looking forward to balance in their life and in their future. And I'm going to look at what black pepper is. Okay. So black pepper. Your message is, breathe in my essence. I'm not what you expected, am I? Breathe in again. I'm black pepper. Subtle, gentle, yet possess the strength to create change even when difficult. Are you at a crossroads, unsure or afraid to choose one path or the other? Are there habits or beliefs holding you back? It is time to uncover and acknowledge. Be gentle with yourself as you remember. Like I said, this person doesn't want to look back at things, and this person is spending too much time looking back at things. So both of them need to be gentle with themselves. Here's an exercise for you. Write down the habits or beliefs you're wanting to change. This could be an addiction to a substance, a relationship, or how you treat yourself. Look at each one. Consider for a moment, where do you want to be in 6 months from now? What about the next year? 5 years? 10 years? Imagine the life you will have by making changes. How does that feel? Imagine if you continue just as you are at this moment. How does that feel? Look at the list again. Determine if the beliefs still represent that person you are today, as well as who you're becoming from this day forward. Use my essence to help uncover that which needs to be released back to the universe. Your affirmation is, I am change. I uncover that which no longer resonates and move forward with courage and strength. The Divine Masculine is definitely going to take, doing that exercise is going to really get them clear of a lot of this stuff from the past. The Divine Feminine is going to be able to let go, and both of them are going to be able to step into their own balanced energies and attract the perfect partner, or be able to resolve this relationship. Okay, at this point it doesn't look like there's a lot to resolve. However, it does say your dreams need a practical plan in inverse. So if both of these parties decided that they wanted to, they both have the tools that they could do it, and they both really do dig each other. This person here is going to have to not be so jealous. Okay, the masculine energy is going to have to be okay with the feminine energy being sensual and attracting people, because that is just who they are at their natural core. Okay, so the Divine Masculine's jealousy made them feel a little bit unsafe. Okay, and when they're feeling a little safer, they will be much more attracted to the Divine Masculine as well. So yeah, whether you'll be together again is really up to both of you. And there are conversations that need to be had and things that need to be cleared. So that is all I have for you, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If any of this resonated, please leave a comment. Let me know. And if you liked this reading, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithms. And again, this is a hobby for me, okay? So I'm not doing personal readings right now. Like, I'm sure if somebody really wanted one, I could probably do that. But I've got lots of other things going on. So I hope to just see you in another reading. And subscribe to this channel if you want. I'm going to be putting out videos probably once a week. I am an artist and also an entrepreneur who holds all kinds of cool events. And I've got a little bit of a show that I have on the internet. So if there's anything that you want to know, you can check the description box. It's always changing because there's always new things going in. And yeah, it's great to have you here. Talk to you soon. Thanks. All right, so group number 3, will you be together again? If you chose group number 3, this is your reading, okay? And just so you know, I've got Divine Masculine over here, Divine Feminine over here, current energies in the middle. This card is the, well, there's 2 in your case, but the overall energy of the read, okay? Nothing's set in stone. This is a general reading. Some things are going to apply to your situation, some things aren't. So take what resonates, leave the rest. And yes, doing this kind of reading, this is my very first time. I noticed in the other 2 readings, I had a hard time with genders and whatnot. And sometimes I would say you or they or whatever. I'm doing my best, so just bear with me through anything. And I was also saying before, it's like... some people lately on the internet are getting a lot of, I think there's a lot of stuff about the LGBTQ community and people with their genders. I notice with my kids, there's a lot of personal, what is it called? Like offenses that they, like I've got a trans boy and I have a bisexual but mostly gay female little girl. She's not that little anymore. But anyways, I've got 2 kids and they both belong to that community, but I noticed that there are things that people say in different videos and whatnot that sometimes offend them. I'm going to do my best not to say anything that would be offensive to anybody, but at the same time, it's like when I'm saying Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine, it could be either. It doesn't matter what gender you are. This is just energy. Okay, so if I say him or her or anything at any time, just know it could be any party in the relationship. And yeah, so let's have fun with this. Let's get started. Let's see what the Divine Masculine has for their cards. They have the in-between or Hecate to the left And then stillness, which is Yuki Onna to the right. Okay. You've also got when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire to the left. And then you have when I cultivate a spiritual connection, I can trust the universe no matter what. And then there's also don't let your past hold you back. The south node or it's in inverse. And then you've also got a new romantic cycle begins in inverse. The divine feminine has a time rather than to take in inverse, a time for healing in inverse, generosity or Oshun, upright, fortune, Lakshmi, upright. Then also, when I'm connected to spirit, I feel a sense of certainty, magnitude, and ease that I've never known before. And that's in inverse. And also, I release time and let the universe show me what to do. Okay? Then for the general reading, like the vibe here, you've got Lang Lang, Cypress. You've got, and I hope you can see all these cards, and you might not be able to, but I'm going to do my best. You have expect powerful change to the left. A personal issue reaches resolution to the left. And then you've got, whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer. The light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. That's to the right. And you have innocence in inverse. Okay? This one's a really interesting reading, okay? So just let me tune into the energies of these cards. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Divine Masculine here. So in this relationship, will you be together again? The Divine Masculine was stuck in the in-between. In fact, every time he thinks about this connection, it's like he goes back to this place again about not knowing whether he wants to be like he was, or, you know, again, I'm just, the gender thing. So I'm just going to say he for this. So it's like he doesn't know if he wants to be who he was or who he's going to become. It's like there's this like, I kind of do and I kind of don't. I kind of want to be with you and I kind of don't. But it's not like necessarily that there's anything wrong with this connection. It's more or less like for their own personal growth and who they are. They want to cultivate a stronger connection with their spirit and with their higher self to be able to like have happiness and joy and things in their life, right? So this relationship right now, when they think about it, it kind of sets them in this space about like there's a little bit of uncertainty about where they're going. Okay? And also they recognize that when they were with you, they really, really enjoyed the time. It's like they saw things in you that they really desire. The masculine saw things in the feminine that they really, really desired. Okay? And because that, they recognized that they could feel good along the way. So even though essentially they desired more. Not that there was anything wrong with the divine feminine, but it was like they had this like clear vision of what they were working on. And so you were very, very close to that. And that was what was challenging for them. So when they think about you, when they think about the divine feminine, they get kind of stuck in this like, you know, it's so close, so close, so close. But they were very, very grateful to have you in their life. In fact, if you're thinking that you didn't mean anything to them, that is the exact opposite. You have meant a lot to them. They, in their stillness, when they do meditations or they do any kind of like dreaming, when they're very still, they often think about the good times. They often think about aspects of what was that they do want again. Okay, and what they know is that like their ultimate goal, the divine masculine, is to cultivate that spiritual connection and trust the universe. So even if these things happen and their thoughts sometimes go, yes, maybe, no, maybe, or that's not exactly what I wanted, but it was really close. They know that if they just trust the universe and their spiritual connection with source, that they will be led to the right people, the right relationships, the right partnerships, and it may even be you. Okay, I'm not there yet, but And you may be the divine masculine. So when I say you and they, I really hope that you can bear with me because this is my first reading like this ever. Okay. And then, so yeah, a new romantic cycle begins in inverse, and don't let the past hold you back in inverse. So they were letting their past get in the way. In fact, that was the problem that got in the way of the relationship that you had, the connection that you had, the bond that you had. I mean, you could have had like a really deep bond, but what was happening was that the divine masculine was letting their own past get in the way and hold them back from actually making a commitment or making something that was going to be like a little more solid. Okay. And they dreamt about having new romantic beginnings, and they wanted these things, but they weren't ready. They were still stuck in the past. Okay. So that's the divine masculine with this energy. There probably will be more after I read the divine feminine, but we'll come back to that. Yeah. So a time to give rather than to take. The feminine, divine feminine. The divine feminine feels like it's actually their time to take. You know, they have given and given and given and given and given, and they got to a point where they don't want to. It's not that they don't want to give, but they don't want to be self-sacrificing, and they don't want to be like putting other people's needs ahead of their own anymore. They saw this relationship open up wounds that they didn't know they even still had. So they have spent some time since this and through this process healing themselves. They are still in the healing process. However, they know that they are coming into some beautiful things. Like they know that with relationships, they are going to be very fortunate. They are going to be able to give generously. They are going to be able to receive generously. They are going to be like very well taken care of and very nourished. In fact, they're going to be increasing their beauty and their abundance and their health and their vitality. And it's like all of these good things are coming to them, and they're allowing themselves to receive. They're finally going, you know what? It's my time. I've given and given and given, and it's my time. So the divine feminine is in a very, very good space. So when I'm connected to spirit, I feel a sense of certainty, magnitude, ease, and ease that I've never known before. They're not in the space yet that they've discovered this certainty, magnitude, and ease that they haven't known before. It's like they still have this, like they're still healing. And so this certainty is coming. It's going to light them up, and it's going to cause them to have it's going to cause them to rise in ways that they've never experienced. And they are in the process of letting go. Like they're releasing the idea of time. Okay. They're releasing the idea of needing to do things now. There was a rush because there were things that they wanted to do in their life. They wanted to do things, so they wanted to push things, so they wanted to have things now. They were worried about time. They may have pressured the divine masculine because, you know, the clock was ticking. It could be a biological clock. It could be like a career clock. It could be like a variety of different things, but it's like they felt this pressure to have things now or right away. They're completely releasing that. By releasing that, it's going to speed up the healing process and also allow for them to step into the really receiving abundance kind of mentality. And whether the divine feminine ends up with this divine masculine again or not, the divine masculine is going to be really, really kind of like drooling over this divine feminine. Knowing that the divine feminine is getting all of their glory and their riches and abundance, and the divine masculine knows for certain that this divine feminine deserves that. The divine masculine really, really respects and honors the divine feminine. The thing is that the place they were both at before, it was not time. It was not time. You know, what this person, this divine feminine, is stepping into is what the divine masculine was wanting all along. But the divine masculine did not see that at the time, saw what was there at the time, didn't see everything that wasn't there. It's like it was there, but it was buried because the divine feminine was so focused on putting other people's needs first that they were really not allowing themselves to live in their abundance. Okay, they were not being true to themselves. They were not being true to everything that they had going for them. So now it's like they're releasing the idea that time is even a concept, and they're taking the time for healing because they could have as much time for healing as they want. It's funny. We've got a time for healing, a time to give, and then we've got a release time. Well, this is it. They're releasing time. They're releasing the need to know now. So the divine feminine is stepping into being okay with not knowing whether they're going to be together or not. They still sometimes want to be together with the divine masculine. The divine masculine is here kind of trying to figure some things out. They want a real romance. They want like this beautiful, like, they want everything that they've ever dreamed of in their divine counterpart. And they're getting that all of it really just comes from within with that spiritual connection. And when they have that spiritual connection, they can trust everything. But they have to look into themselves and continue this as a daily practice into the future of looking into themselves for that stillness, like for that peace, for that like answer. The answers are all there. And this couple, regardless of how far into the relationship you got or not, it's very refined. It's pretty cool. All right. So I'm gonna read this. So the overall current energy of this is that the relationship started off without. It started off when both people were not in their innocence. Okay, so as these people are themselves when they're connected to their spirit, they're both very innocent, very free, very joyous, very abundant, very rich. They're both rich. They're very, very rich. And in the beginning, that's not how it was. In fact, that lack of innocence is causing, there's a lot of blame. There's a lot of blame between each other for how things worked out. Okay? And you know what? Both of them have a tendency to compare themselves to each other and each other to other people. And that definitely gets in the way of things. But they're seeing, whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer. The light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. So before, both of them were poking at each other and looking for their darknesses. They were looking for all of the blemishes, but not so that they could use their own light and heal, but just so that they could make themselves feel better about their own darknesses. Okay? And what they're getting as they move into their thoughts and they're growing is that they're getting that they both have so much light within them, and it's really a reflection of each other. So they were mirroring each other when they were poking holes in their darkness, and they're mirroring each other when they're looking at their light. And they have a lot of light. Like I said, this couple, the divine masculine and feminine, they seem like, from what I've read so far, almost perfectly matched in the fact that they both have so much abundance. And so when they think about the future, they do think about what's possible. Both of them. They're both up-leveling themselves, and the energy is gaining momentum. Both of them are developing a lot of habits, positive attributes, and they are both, the divine feminine is taking time to really nourish themselves and be for themselves in a way they never have before. And the divine masculine is slowing themselves down enough to really be still with their own thoughts and start to make sense of the world. And their positive habits are really starting to have a shift in both of their lives. So personal issue reaches resolution to the left and expect powerful change. So neither one of these people expect that this issue between them is going to be resolved soon. Neither one of them expect this situationship to change soon. So regardless of whether they want to be together again or not, both of them think that now's not the time. There's still a bit of ego there and a bit of fear-based mentality thinking too that it might cause conflict between what they've got going on in their current life. Both of these people may be in relationships. And both of them are really doing well in their relationships. They're both they're both really allowing themselves to receive wonderful blessings, and therefore they don't want to rock the boat. Oops, why did I flip that over? So I'm going to read a couple of these last cards, and then I'm going to sum up the reading, okay? So Cypress. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel my essence envelop you in a nice warm hug. Are you going through a difficult time right now? Are you hurting from a loss? I am Cypress and I am here to help. It's time for self-care. Are you listening to your body and what it's trying to tell you? Are you ignoring the signs? Just trying to plow forward through each day with no direction? Slow down. Take some time to be. Your exercise is to create a safe space to allow yourself to feel the emotions towards any grief, trauma, or loss. Both of these parties feel grief, trauma, and loss. Journal your feelings. Do you feel you need supports? Know that you're not alone, and there are many supports available to you. How is your health? Are you taking care of yourself? Your health is most important right now. Ensure you're drinking enough water, eating whole foods, and getting enough sleep. If these basic needs are not being met, it's difficult to work on the emotional aspects as your thinking will be foggy and unable to focus. Take me along for a boost of support. Remember, your number one priority is caring for yourself. Your affirmation is I listen to my body, providing basic necessities such as clean water, whole foods, and enough sleep. And then Lang Lang. So, Lang Lang. Good morning. And it may be morning or it may be any time in your day or night. But good morning. I'm Lang Lang and I bring feelings of freshness, rejuvenation, and happiness. Exercise. Take a deep breath in and imagine for a moment. You're just waking up. The sunlight is streaming in the window. There's a warm breeze wafting through the open window. The birds are singing. You stretch and feel absolutely wonderful. Sit with that feeling for a few minutes. Let it penetrate every cell in your body. Breathe out and release the last remnants you have. The last remnants of sleep. You are refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to begin your day. You can have that blissful feeling each day when you wake up, if you consciously choose it. Each day is a new day. It's a new opportunity to choose what to focus your attention on. You choose how you feel and how you will respond to situations that arise. Why not choose to begin your day positive, rejuvenated, and excited for the day ahead? When you do, any upsets or issues are handled swiftly without the usual drama, to enable you to consciously move on with your day. Your affirmation. I am excited about this day, and every day. I wake up refreshed and excited for the miracles and opportunities being presented to me today. That, you know what, it really does sum it up. It's like both of these guys, the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, they both have healing, loss, and trauma to release and mend. Self-care is super important, and both of them are really stepping into their own power, their own daily routines. They're both very big on routines and success and personal development. And yeah, it's actually really beautiful. So will you be together again? When it comes to this, both of you guys are not attached to the future. You're kind of trusting the universe. Both of you guys are trusting the spiritual, both of you guys, your deep spiritual connection. So, yeah, you know what to do. You know to tune into yourself. You know to tune into your stillness. And you know when the time is right to call or to... yeah, you guys will know when it's time to call the other person. And you guys will know that there are some things to mend and heal within both of you. But either way, I acknowledge you for being here for this reading, but I acknowledge you for the steps that you're doing to work on yourself. Okay, whether you're the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine, you rock. And you have really, really good things coming to you. Your life is gaining positive momentum and things are coming. And whether you'll be together with this person again or not will only be known in divine timing. And just trust the universe and you will align with what is for your highest and best self. With that, I end your reading. Thank you very much for being here. If you liked this reading, please give it a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments section whether anything resonated or not. And if you like this reading, let me know so I can do more of them, because this was my very first and I have no idea how it's going to land for people. So have fun, and I'll see you in another reading. Bye!